I decided to wait for the kettle to finish boiling this time so it didn't upstage me. But while I'm making my cup of tea this morning, peppermint by the way, I've been thinking about how can Nintendo change the way they handle retro gaming when the Switch 2 comes out. It's the worst possible kept secret in gaming. The Switch 2 is heavily in development and is due out probably sometime in the next 12 months. So, to give you an idea of where we are with Switch Retro right now, the main retro service on the Switch is Nintendo Switch Online, which has over 300 games between NES, SNES, Game Boy, the various Game Boys, Color, Advance, Sega Mega Drive, and Nintendo 64 available for play. And look, that is just over 300 games, I think it's about 301, not including the SPs, in 6 years. Not only that, we do have the retro remasters like, say, the Tomb Raider collection, the Crash Bandicoot collection, which are multi-platform across the various areas. So I'm wondering what the Nintendo Switch could do by itself differently. Now, the first area, I think Nintendo could take a leaf out of some other developers' books, and that is handle remasters a bit better. If you look at the Crash Bandicoot collection, you get 3 PS1 games fully remastered in one package. If you look at what Nintendo do, GameCube game, 1-to-1, even though we're pretty sure the other two have been remastered. That's Metroid Prime. Skyward Sword HD, but you know, where's Wind Waker? Where's Ocarina HD? You know, that could be part of a collection. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Great, underrated game for the Wii U. Where's Returns? Where's the original Returns? Why isn't that part of the same package? Crunch. That shouldn't have gone crunch. Super Mario RPG. Now this was a ground up rebuild, so I don't mind this one too much. This could be a bit more what Nintendo do, but then again with the 3D games, there's less to remaster than there was for this. And finally, this is the biggie, the Super Mario 3D All-Stars package, which were pretty much just 3 straight ROMs almost. I know there's some changes to buttons and controls, but the graphics haven't been remastered, and this was, for some stupid reason, a limited edition. Like, I know it's not hard to track down physically, but you can't even buy it digitally anymore. It's just stupid. So I really want Nintendo to handle their back catalogue a bit better. I think there has to be a happy medium between putting an over 20-year-old game out by itself when there's another 2 parts in the trilogy and a 4th part follow-up on the way. If other developers are doing collections of games from this era, why aren't Nintendo? Something else I would really love to see is Nintendo embrace the strange parts of their back catalogue a bit more. And we've seen recently with the Nintendo Museum that they are actually embracing the Virtual Boy of all things. There is Virtual Boy merchandise at the Nintendo Museum. I'm hoping to go next February. There is a ticket lottery, but it looks like, you know, you get to choose a few different days you can go, so here's hoping. And this is one of the first big acknowledgements Nintendo's made of the Virtual Boy in a long time. You know, I know it appears as trophies in games or gear in Splatoon, but this is a real-world acknowledgement of the system. We could be seeing Virtual Boy games on the Switch too. Now, obviously, there'd have to be some graphical changes. You don't have the 3D element there. I don't think anyone would mind if it wasn't black and red or at least had a graphics mode. Game & Watch. We haven't seen Game & Watch collections since the Nintendo DS days. I think the last one to be released was around 2011, I want to say. Mr. Game & Watch has been in Smash Brothers, for goodness sake, but the games aren't available. And like the Game Boy collections of Game & Watch games, you could have a modern graphics mode as well as the originals. Personally, I prefer to see them on physical media as a collection, but if it's just on NSO, I can live with that. If you're enjoying this video, or you want to hear me talk more about retro, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up as well, because that helps the video reach more people. The third and final area I want to talk about is Nintendo including some other consoles, other than Nintendo consoles, on the Nintendo Switch Online service. And we do have a precedence for this because we have the Mega Drive collection. Let's see the Master System on there. Now, I know for those of you in America, the Master System, not that big a deal, not really a drop in the ocean. Hugely popular in Europe, very popular here in Australia, still massively popular in Brazil, and I believe other parts of South America. So let's embrace that side of it and possibly even some Sega Mark III games that never got localized. I'm looking at you, Alex Kidd BMX Trial. On the home computer side of things, Nintendo consoles have played host to Commodore 64 games before. And I'm particularly thinking of back on the Wii's Virtual Console. You had Commodore 64 games like Whizball. I'm pretty sure you had Wizards of War on there at one point. You probably wouldn't get great Gianna Sisters. Mind you, the Gianna Sisters did have a game on DS, so you never know. Those are just my opinions on how Switch can improve its retro representation on the next generation with the Switch 2. But what do you think? Please let me know down in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, share with your friends, give me a thumbs up. In the meantime, if you're after more retro content, I have another video just here, or possibly here. I can never remember which side it goes on. Actually, I get to choose the side. I have another video just here on how you can play all the games from the NES Mini from a few years ago on the Nintendo Switch today. So check that out, and until next time, I've been Retro Brendo, and I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea. Have a good one.